everyone, and welcome to yet another Epic Cosplay tutorial. Today I will be working with a Hestia and a 20-inch curly clip in the color Caramel Blonde for the character Mordred from the popular anime Fate Apocrypha, which, if you have not seen it, is available on Netflix. So first things first, I'm going to secure the wig onto my wig head. I like to use a male styrofoam wig head because the head is a little bigger than the female's. I am pinning all the way around the hair of the wig and making sure to pull the elastic slightly in the back so that once the wig has been pulled into a ponytail, I am sure that it is big enough to cover all of the hair on my head. I brushed through with a wide tooth brush. You can also use a comb. And now I'm going through and relaxing some of the big curls in this wig with my hairdryer on the hot setting. And then I'm using that wide tooth brush again just to brush that heat through all of the fibers of the wig and get it nice and silky smooth. I do want a little bit of wave because it's going to help the wig be a little fuller once it's finished. But I don't need the big poofy curls that the Hestia naturally comes with. Now I am separating out the hair that's going to be used later for Mordred's sideburns and bangs. I'm making sure that I have a nice straight line and that it is even on both sides. And then I am just twisting that hair towards the front and securing it with a clip so that it doesn't get in my way while I work on the ponytail. Alright, so now we're going to get started on the ponytail. I'm going to take a small section of hair towards the crown that is about as high as where I ultimately am going to want that ponytail to sit. You want to start with a fairly thin little cluster of hair. And then once you are happy with the size and position, you're going to secure it with a sturdy elastic or a hair tie. So once that hair is secured, you're going to take the section of hair to the side of the ponytail, and that is going to be used for your braid. In my case, I chose to do a French braid because that happens to be what I'm best at. It made sense at the time. Later on, I did realize that a Dutch braid may have been better since you would actually be able to see the braid a little better along the side of the wig. But hindsight is 2020, and French braid is what I went with. So for your purposes, you can choose which braid works best for you. Once that braid is finished, I'm going to secure it with another piece of elastic, and then I'm going to move over to the other side, and I'm going to separate a similarly sized section of hair. I'm going to do the same kind of braid, and then I am going to secure it with another sturdy elastic. Now I have secured my starter ponytail over the top of the wig so it doesn't get in the way while I grab the rest of the hair. And then I'm going to go through in thin sections and gently guide that hair up into my ponytail. I'm using my wide tooth comb again to make sure that all of those fibers are nice and smooth. And once everything is added into that ponytail, I'm going to secure it once again with a sturdy elastic. And then I'm going to go through with my fingers and gently fill out any gaps, and then pull the braids to either side of the ponytail and secure them in place. In my case, I tied the elastic that was left over from the ponytail around the ends of the braids. I'm then going to add in my clip. I chose to just clip it in because it makes restyling a little easier later on. You can also sew it in, or you could pull your starter ponytail into a bun, take the hairpiece off of the clip it comes on, and then put that over the bun that you've made. Now I'm going through and once again just easing out some of the curl, so I have a nice little wisp at the bottom, but the hair is mostly straight. I'm then going to go through and tease the top half of the ponytail so that I can get Mordred's crazy little mullet ponytail look later on. to do this, I'm taking small sections of hair. I'm hitting the back of them with some hairspray and then back combing with a teasing brush, and then pulling them over the top of the head so that as the hairspray dries, they get a little bit of extra body. Once I've teased about half of the ponytail, I'm then gonna go in with my texturizing comb or hair razor, and I'm going to give the bottom of the ponytail a little better shape. I like to use the texturizing comb because it sort of teases the hair as I go, which gives it a little bit of extra body, and it also gives a little more organic finish to the ends of the hair. Once I am happy with the shape of the ends, I'm then going to go through with my fingers and gently style the upper part of the hair, ease it into a little point at the end, and then I'm going to hit it with some hairspray and the hairdryer. Now back up to the hairs at the top of the ponytail, I'm going through with a pair of scissors and just cutting off a majority of the length of the hair and getting general spike shapes for each of the little sections that I grab. These don't have to be exact because I can trim them up later once I start pulling the spikes back. I'm mostly just trying to get that length off and a little bit of a point. So once I have the length off, I'm going to go through and take little sections and guide them into the shape of a spike. I'm going to hit them with some hairspray, and then I am hitting them with some heat from the hairdryer so that I can keep the spikes in the shape that I want. The heat helps shape the fibers of the wig, and then it also helps dry out the hairspray so that it secures its shape a little faster. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to go through and redesign the shape of the ponytail a little bit, so I'm happy, hit it with some hairspray, and then I'm going to add my red hair tie. For this, I have taken a tube of red fabric with some elastic in it, secured it to 2 hair clips on either side, so that I don't have to worry about trying to pull that over the ponytail. It can just go around. Now I'm taking the sideburn sections. I have cut off the length to about where I want them, and then I'm going through in layers and trimming them up with my texturizing comb so that it gives it a nice kind of messy organic shape at the ends, and also adds a little bit of teasing so they look a little bit fuller. I am combing through them once I'm happy with the shape, and then I am going to hit them with some heat from the hairdryer to ease out any weird lumps and bumps. And then I'm going to use my fingers and that heat to gently curl them towards my face. I am then going to move on to the other side and do the same thing. I am trimming the hair in layers using my texturizing comb, and then I am gently combing through to smooth out all of those fibers, and then I will hit it with the hairdryer to get it to the shape that I want. Once I am happy with those, I'm going to move on to the bangs. I'm going to start by just roughly cutting off the length so that it's about the same length as the bangs that the Hestia started with. I'm going to move my clips to cover up my sideburn pieces so I don't accidentally trim those while I work on the bangs. And then I'm going to go through with my texturizing comb, and I am going to kind of mess up the ends of these bangs so that I'm able to get some nice little spikes later on. Once I'm happy with the length and the shape, I'm going to comb through all of the bangs. And then, similar to what we did with the ponytail, we are going to tease the bangs until our fingers bleed. I'm taking small sections, hitting them with a little bit of hairspray, and then back combing on the underside. I'm then pulling them towards the back of the wig and hitting them with a little bit of hairspray because that will help give a little bit of extra body once I pull the bang pieces back towards the front. I am teasing the entirety of these bangs, so I'm just going through in small sections until every single piece of hair in the bangs has been finished. I am then going to decide where I want the little part in the front of Mordred's bangs to go, finding that with my finger, and then choosing a small section of hair on either side of that part easing it forward over my fingers so it gets a nice curl, and then securing it with some hairspray and the hairdryer. I'm then going to pull small sections of the hair forward, guide them into the shape that I want with my fingers, hit them with some hairspray and the hairdryer. For the pieces over the little swooshy part in the front of her hair, I've just gently pulled that hair forward because I want it to be a little bit messier, and then the top layers I am working into small gentle spikes so there's a little more shape as you go up. And once we're done with that, it is all done. We're going to hit it with some hairspray, and that is just going to seal in all of the shape. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you found some of my tips and tricks useful. If you use this tutorial to style your own Mordred wig, please feel free to tag me on social media at Angi Viper, and also make sure to tag Epic Cosplay Wigs at Epic Cosplay, and hit up epiccosplay.com for all of your cosplay wig needs. Thank you again so much for watching, and as always, thank you to my patrons. You guys make literally everything possible.